Cool, that was near perfect. All right, welcome everybody to another episode of the Self-Made Monsters podcast. We kind of had a discussion going already. Just gonna do a quick introduction to who we are and get right back into it. I'm the co-host with the most, Storm Blessed, and I'm joined here today by
the smartest wrestling mark in the motherfucking game.
I'm invincible, unimpressed. Fuck. The fuck.
No cap. Wait, go ahead.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. And I play as the best.
No cap though. The unimpressed moniker would be a dope ass wrestling name. You just come out with your music. Whoever come out, you just go. It's the unimpressed.
I'm not impressed by your performance.
You gonna take off your jacket for what?
But the game was here talking about WrestleMania because it was going on. What was it, yesterday and today?
Yeah.
It's
WrestleMania for like the past 2 years have been 2 nights because in like COVID shit. So I don't know. They had to switch up the game due to COVID. Is basically what happened.
It's been 2 nights for a while now. They have like their small shows, like the big, battle royale that they have at the beginning of the show. They run their Dark Host shows on the first night and then the main roster stuff on the second night.
But the main roster shit before was so fucking long. WrestleMania was like 7 hours.
Yeah.
So now
Jesus Christ, who needs that much time for wrestling?
Wrestling.
No, because it's what all year builds up to.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what 3 months builds up to.
So it's like the Super Bowl of wrestling.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Where WrestleMania used to be like these humongous big cap off events where you would see like the highs of like people's storylines. Now it just kind of
it's kind of just like before WrestleMania was planned so long in advance, and now it's like WrestleMania plans are finalized like I think this time it was finalized like 2 weeks before.
Jesus.
No.
They didn't even decide the main event, and they didn't. Okay, maybe they decided it, but they didn't reveal the main event until like 2 days ago.
So I just wanted to dispute on the fact of like they used to take so long. They didn't used to take that long. They did the most that WWE even does for a build up for a story to WrestleMania is about like 3 months at most. And that's not that long. Everybody always goes like, "Oh, back in the day, the good old days when Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant used to wrestle, it was like a year-long story." That's what happens between Hulk Hogan and Randy the Savage. It was a year-long story. No, it wasn't. They had one big breakup at the beginning.
Night one was fire.
And then nobody interacted with each other for like months at a time, and then they got to something else. It didn't really build up until like 3 months before WrestleMania. And another thing, having the Royal Rumble be like the big like road to WrestleMania thing, lead off thing, it's so fucking stupid. The Royal Rumble is dumb. I don't care for it. I hate it. Those who are not in the know-how, the Royal Rumble is a big event where they have like wrestlers come in a minute at a time, and the idea
it's
like
maybe like 3 minutes in between.
3 minutes. The point is they come in staggered at a time, and the idea is that to get your opponent and take them over the top rope and make them land on the floor, right? It's supposed to be this big, battle royale, the Royal Rumble, and the last person standing gets the main event spot to WrestleMania. So it's like the big halfway show, and that's when they start promotion for the road to WrestleMania, because like it's gonna make them like the main event and stuff like that. But it's stupid. Like, it's inherently stupid. They always try to get you and go like, "Oh, it's the first person who comes," because like it's inherently stacked against the person who's number one.
Okay, you say that, but it only depends on storyline. The guy that just main evented WrestleMania tonight, he won the Royal Rumble at number 1.
Who was it?
Edge.
Yeah, no, that's stupid.
Why is that stupid?
I'm gonna tell you why that's stupid. So Edge, for those who don't know, Edge is a legend, all right, in the WWE. I like Edge. I really fucking like Edge. I like
got
Edge
an
when he was
Funko Pop. Like
when he was a tag partner with his best friend Christian. All right, I like Edge. His whole idea is that he's the ultimate opportunist, right? He's the rated R superstar. Okay, he's like 6'5", just has long blonde hair, and he has this like the move called the spear. It's fucking amazing, right? He's really good.
his
He
spear is
wrestles like a
trash
big
though.
guy, but he shut the fuck up.
His
And
spear
he
ass.
wrestles like a big guy, but he has the agility of like a cruiserweight, right?
I mean, he did some
So-
good spears tonight.
It's something about his face that just rubs me the wrong way. Like he just looked creepy.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
I don't like this might be too TMI, but like he just got one of those faces where it looked like he like go down on someone even though they're on their period. Like you don't.
It's funny that you mentioned that.
That's the vibe he give me,
The
man.
WWE is that he played a vampire, so you ain't
Oh,
wrong.
there you go.
You did money on it. You did money on it.
Yo, something is wrong with y'all. How did we get here?
You gonna tell me you ain't think the same thing?
I'm looking at his face right now, and
Yeah.
that dude to eat a girl ass out on the first date. Like, look like that guy. The rated R superstar fits this man.
Yeah,
Bro, you're talking
he's
about a
right,
guy
he
who
might
had
be
a
that.
live sex celebration on live TV with Lita. Bro, yes.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
the biggest wrestling fan. Holy crap.
Yeah.
You bet. Y'all got it.
Don't you
Okay.
want me to use a douche?
Right?
Y'all
So
got it.
come to find out, wrestling may be scripted, but it takes a toll on your body. And basically, his neck was like so fucked up, his spine was so fucked up. They was like, "Yeah, bro, if you take another hit, you're gonna die." And he's like, "Well, I guess I gotta stop." And so that's what he does.
That'll do
He
it.
does
Yeah.
for years, right?
And
He's
that
all
was
doing-
10 years ago today.
And so
10
he
years
comes
ago
back out of
today,
nowhere.
he had to
I'm sorry.
retire and relinquish his world heavyweight championship.
Mhm.
He never lost his title.
Started the thing with Christian, but I'm gonna get that's a whole nother story.
Yeah,
That's
that-
my
yeah,
favorite.
I
That's
don't-
one of my
yeah, I
favorite
don't-
wrestlers, Captain Charisma, my guy.
Do you
Woo!
watch him now? Because he's back.
Hell yeah, I watch him wherever he
Okay.
goes. I fucking watch Christian.
He's
No.
in AEW. What the fuck?
Jerry,
He's in
what's going
AEW.
Everywhere.
I could
Hey,
show
what's your
you
name?
his the match he had in AEW, his comeback match.
I
For the
watch
the-
AEW bi-weekly.
Oh, okay. For those who don't, Frankie Kazarian. If there's any TNA fans, that was
There ain't.
that was
We're
his
talking
comeback.
we're talking to a bunch of normies. They don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
You don't know.
We-
This
yeah,
might
we need
reach.
something for those who don't know. No, they don't know.
They could. This shit could reach. I have a. This shit could reach.
I'm one of them normies like, the fuck is TNA?
TNA and
that was,
TNA was another rival wrestling
Started
organization.
back in 2006 by the one and only, the ultra male Jeff fucking Jarrett. Woo! My God,
I'm
10,000
not.
fucking guitar shots and not a single fucking pay-per-view sold. My boy Jeff Jarrett started back in 2006 by Jeff Jarrett and his father and Dixie Carter. It used to be a weekly pay-per-view show, right? And they had borrowed the NWA championship at the time, which is one of the older prestigious like championships in wrestling.
Yeah.
And then things were going on and things were going good. That's when AJ Styles started to come in and they start to go to like a monthly pay-per-view schedule. And then they got partnered up with Spike TV back in the day. Spike TV, the channel for men. Channel 34.
That was the channel that
Mansers.
1,000 Ways to Die used to come
Yep.
on.
Ways to Die in Mansers.
Mansers was my shit.
It was the
Oh
fucking
my
truth.
God. Does anybody remember what was the number one way to die? You guys remember?
I
don't.
don't. Did
It
they
was
ever
the
get
I
to number
never
one?
paid attention
It
to
was
the
the one
numbers.
about it was the one about the Japanese couple that were having sex for the first time, and because they were so excited having sex, they both had heart attacks.
Attacks.
That was
Yeah.
number one. Yikes, that's fucked up. Yeah.
That's fuck. I don't know. I was thinking it was the one that was which was the one that was about the fruit fly.
Oh God, yeah, that's fucked up.
The only one I remember is I believe this woman, she killed her husband because she was eating nuts and she kissed him and he had a high nut allergy. And that was when I decided that's a deal breaker.
Jeez, we're talking about like peanuts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just check. Just check.
I remember one. This dude died. This dude died because he was trying to stroke out his car.
Oh, I remember that one.
The tailpipe, right?
Yeah, the exhaust pipe.
Oh yeah. Oh, it has just some like the wildest shit on there, man. That was a
and
great
then
show.
another one was this dude died because he had a dominatrix fetish, but he didn't know he was allergic to latex. And he was in that whole gimp suit shit. And he died as a motherfucker.
That's
Yeah,
rough.
that's fucked up.
That's hot.
There was one about the girl that tried to swallow a fish, and then she tried to get
Yeah.
it back up, but the scales got caught in her throat, so
Yeah.
she suffocated to death.
There was the one about the chick who wanted to lose weight, so she like deliberately swallowed a tapeworm, and the thing grew to like be the size of her intestines.
Yeah.
And
Oh
it
my
burst out and ate the rest of her.
No!
Yeah, I remember.
Why not just work out? Shit.
No, it's too hard, man. Just swallow the tapeworm. You can eat whatever you want. Like, yeah, it makes sense to me.
Oh, no.
Yeah, all right.
God, Darwin Award just going out to everybody.
That's a Darwin award right there. Oh man.
Don't forget about the classic about the exec that goes like, "Don't worry, guys. This is like shatterproof glass. You can just run into it all day.
We used to do it all the time.
It turns. Falls
Like
out.
the crux of that story was he did it all the time. Just this one time, it didn't take it, and he just went flying right the fuck out the window.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that show was great. But back to wrestling. As a like normal when it comes to wrestling, the only thing I do know about wrestling is that wrestling isn't wrestling.
That is
What-
true. Shout out to
What
my
is
friend.
the yeah? What is shout out to Max Landis? I believe makes that legitimate comeback. But what was the like build up for this year? Because I know you said it used to do it like it used to at least seem like a year long build up to WrestleMania. What's the like storyline or that they're trying to push to be the big story for WrestleMania this year?
They got a
Well,
lot.
that's
They
for-
actually
that's for
had a
going
lot
through
of heat.
because I don't like I said I haven't really paid attention to WWE this
So
year.
this one's for Garland.
They actually had a lot of heat this year. I'll be honest.
Such as?
They had Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair for
I hate Bianca
the
Belair.
SmackDown.
With her hair.
Watch your mouth. The SmackDown Women's Championship. So, Bianca, you're not wrong. That's so sexy.
Even though
That's so
people
sexy.
have been canceled
Anyway.
talking about Sasha Banks.
Anyway, yeah, that. Anyway, Bianca Belair won the Royal Rumble. Sasha was champ. They actually was like tag team in a couple matches, and then they had to fight because she won the Royal Rumble. There's a champ.
And they're gonna put the belt on Asuka. That's the real question.
And then what the Asuka just lost her belt. Anyway,
And they're gonna keep it on.
Are y'all still talking about wrestling or OnlyFans? I'm confused.
We're talking about wrestling.
Okay.
Looking at these pictures, I understand the confusion. That's not an insult.
Oh.
These women are extremely attractive and fit. So continue.
Just still,
Mhm.
just edit point. Just an edit point. Please, that whole part.
Wait, Paul. So wait, people legit getting canceled for saying they're
Yes.
attractive. I'm confused. Like what?
No,
Oh,
so
yes,
there was
because
a
this.
small
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because
a
it's
couple
because
months
we
back.
are four
Oh.
dudes.
Well,
Shit
that-
is
yeah.
real out here. Okay.
But there was a small controversy a couple months back with Sammy Guevara.
Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, and he was on a podcast talking about Sasha Banks, and he goes like,
Yeah, but
like,
he
"Oh
was
my
being a
god,
weirdo.
I raped that woman," and he meant it
Whoa.
as a joke. He meant it as a joke, but you can hear that already and go like, "Ooh, probably shouldn't."
Like
have
why?
said
Why
that."
would you say that?
Not a
Right?
joke.
And
What the
Like,
fuck
it was-
is funny
it was like-
about that?
like yo. Like
I don't
that's why I'm not too worried about my statement. All I'm saying, like, okay, you can take it the wrong with the OnlyFans thing, but that's the new hotness. Like, she hot, and
Yeah,
also she was
no, I
in
know.
the
I was-
Mandalorian,
I
so
was-
she
I
got she got chops. I didn't recognize her as the awesome Mandalorian chick from the Mandalorian. Yo, this girl's awesome. I'm loving her right now. Like,
But
no hate.
and then like a couple days ago, it was decided that they would be the main event of night one.
okay,
So
oh, Bianca
It's-
Belair and
so it's another time that women are main event in WrestleMania, and they're
That's
two
good.
black women, and they're two black women fighting for the title.
oh, that's what's up.
So that shit was fire. That was a real bro.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair started crying at
Ain't
the
good.
beginning of the match, but she had to get that shit together because she had to fight. That shit was cold as hell.
Well, I'm happy that two black women, especially two black women, are leading, being a main event for WrestleMania. Bianca Belair is just not good though.
Bianca Belair is fire.
No, she's not. We
Anyway,
talk about stupid gimmicks.
Great-
She whips people with her hair. No.
Oh, she that chick? Because I've seen like gifs of like her with that.
Yeah, that's Bianca Belair. She's not good. She's so
you in the
raw.
minority. You're in the minority with that opinion.
No, I'm not.
And then the pay-per-view started with Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship.
Really?
That was they didn't
Who
really
won?
have too much of a storyline. Bobby Lashley actually retained.
So
So
just gonna keep leaving my man Drew out to dry. All right.
out to dry, he's had 2 good championship runs.
Yo, this dude
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley look like a superhero.
That good, like he cool, but as far as a face of a brand, he ain't all that to me. In my
I
opinion,
think Bobby Lashley is more of a face of the brand than Drew McIntyre.
I think he's interesting right now, and that's enough.
Well, let me stop hating.
Drew
'cause-
McIntyre was not interesting enough, except for the Sheamus thing, but that ended too quickly, and took too long to start. Like that shit was weird. Or they could have made that. They could have stretched it out for that to be the WrestleMania match. They wanted to. That shit was over by
anyway.
like the next pay-per-view.
But anyway, go on. What else happened on day one?
On day one, night one was the best night, in my opinion. They had AJ Styles had a tag team match with
A phenomenal one.
with this guy named Almost, which I don't know really too much about him except he a tall ass black dude. Unfortunately, like I don't watch WWE enough but that's his bodyguard though. He is a Nigerian-born American professional wrestler and former college basketball player. Yes, he played for University of South Florida and for Morgan State University. Shout out to him.
Are you reading off something?
Yes. And they went up against the New Day, Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed, aka the new host of G4 TV.
Yo,
And Kofi Kingston. They were the champions, and AJ and Almost beat them for the championships.
So, hold up, real quick, because I know I want to talk about that G4 thing real quick. I'm just reading through the results right now of like the WrestleMania stuff, and I'm just going like, and I'm just looking at all the matches because again, I haven't seen a lot of wrestling in the past years from WWE itself. And I'm just looking at some of these matches, and I'm like, Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. Didn't Randy Orton burn down his fucking house or something? Why is
That
this
was
match?
a long time ago.
Why is this match now?
That was a long time ago. What happened recently is he burned the Fiend alive.
yo.
And
Like, that's what I want to hear about, like the weird stuff leading up to it. Like, what craziness are they like justifying these matches with?
But the thing is, that match was tonight, and that match was ass. Like it started out cool, but then it just ended and weird as fuck with something with no explanation.
Like what was it?
It ended
That's
with
always
his
been Randy Orton
manager
with Bray
coming
Wyatt.
up out of a fucking jackass in the box and like bleeding black blood, and then do ate an RKO and got the 1, 2, 3. I'm like, what the fuck? What's the point of this?
So the lead up for all of that is that Randy Orton, longtime wrestler here, at one point there was this wrestler called Bray Wyatt. His whole gimmick was that he ran a cult basically, right? And he tried to recruit Randy Orton. Randy Orton, being the ultimate viper, or a snake, he's like, I ain't falling for that. So he burns down fucking Bray Wyatt's house.
Well, that was
on
after
TV.
the tag team. But
That was
On
after.
TV.
okay,
So
but
Bray Wyatt eventually turns into the thing called the Fiend, which is,
yeah,
I guess, this demonic.
hitman. He's a demonic clown hitman.
Yeah, he's a demonic clown hitman.
His
with his own
entire
little,
gimmick
like,
is
kids show on the network itself.
his
called
entire
Firefly
gimmick
House.
is killing all of the people that wronged Bray Wyatt in the past.
That means everybody. That means
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't give
means
DC any
Finn
ideas.
That means Finn Balor. That means Seth Rollins. That means Randy Orton. That means John Cena. It's been a long list. Most of it.
How do you kill something you can't see?
He put that nigga in a TV show. Is what he did. He made that motherfucker face his entire history, and then just Thanos snapped him. He has not come back to WWE since.
Jeez.
That's like the penance there, but like careers.
But he has shown up on commercials. But that's like, yeah, it was just, yeah, he was done.
So yeah, all that lore behind the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, it just seems really weird for Randy Orton to keep going. I fucking hate Randy Orton. He always goes over on everybody.
I don't get the reason why. But that's the thing. Like, yes, it's a Randy thing, but it's also a Bray Wyatt thing. And no matter what, Bray Wyatt gets cucked every fucking time. I don't know why.
Yeah, that is
I don't
true.
know why. He's a
fan favorite. The fans like him, but like Vince is up there going like, so what if we just make him lose? But he loses every time, Vince. But let's keep doing it.
No,
He'll endear him to the fans.
Keep making him just look stupid. I'm not gonna keep supporting him because I know it's a losing battle.
Can't even get invested.
Like, damn.
The palest Irish
person. And they did throw him a bone, but then they fucked it up. And they threw him another bone, but they fucked it up again. I'm sick of it.
If you get thrown a bone, I don't want to know if it tastes good or not.
I'm tired of the shit. I'm over it. But honestly, I only watch big WWE events. I'm more of an AEW fan at this point in my life, just because I'd be sick of all of the shit like that. All of the shit. All right, we're gonna give somebody a big moment and then let them lose the next 17 matches. Why'd you make the nigga win? Why'd you make him? Why'd you give me hype at first just to let me down? The
only time that kind of works is like if you have like just a jobber who does that. A jobber is someone who always loses. His job is to basically make the other guy look really good. Like Kurt Hawkins, his whole storyline is that he hasn't won a match in like 5 years or something like that.
Well, actually, he be going off and now, kind of.
Wait, has he actually won recently?
I feel like he's been in some notable storylines. I don't watch Impact. Now TNA is called Impact. They rebranded. I haven't watched their shows in a while, but I watch. Okay, so fuck. It's a lot of weird. It's a weird.
Quit WWE.
Yes.
That's
well, no, he got released. A lot of people got released last year during the pandemic, which is fucked up.
Of course they did.
So, and then a lot of people that got fired either went to AEW or Impact or New Japan,
obviously,
which are other promotions,
other better promotions.
Indeed. So like, it's really spread out. So that's why if you were a casual WWE fans and you fucked with those people, follow them where they're actually out doing better. Fucking Leo Rush is in New Japan. Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder is in Impact. Fucking Sting, Big Show, Matt Hardy, fucking Christian now, fucking Cody, Goldust. A lot of them are over in AEW. Ring of Honor is struggling, but they're still doing well.
Okay. And New Japan is struggling too, but they're doing okay. If you really want to watch, if you're a casual wrestling fan, watch NXT, which is a thing that WWE does, but Vince doesn't really do anything to fuck with it too much.
That's ran by Triple H.
Yeah, it's really good. The storylines are all decent. It's very clean. The wrestling is great, night in, night out. They're big shows, takeover events,
but I'm not gonna do
some of the best events that you can see all year around. This shit is hard hitting. Watch NXT and you'll be satisfied with your casual wrestling fix. If you want something a little bit more in depth, watch Ring of Honor. If you want something more kind of like to wince because like the hits are really, really hard, watch New Japan. And if you want more of your classic WWE type of feel, but a little bit more consistency and storylines, you watch AEW. There you go. There's your wrestling primer right there.
But okay.
All right.
Okay. Damn it! I got another wrestling point. This is fin. All right, we gotta go on because there's a whole lot of people that might not be fucking wrestling fans. But fuck, I could talk about wrestling for a while.
I mean, it's WrestleMania, so it's topical.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, so one thing with there's like a MCU type shit going on with AEW. AEW has, because at first it was companies keep they people. It's like islands. This company, this company, this company, this company. AEW now has
Didn't used to be
partnerships
that
with
way.
Impact and New Japan. So they done build a bridge across they islands, and that shit is fire.
And don't forget, they
So,
still
like,
have a working relationship with Ring of Honor too. Just putting it out there.
New Japan does. AEW doesn't.
AEW
And
does.
maybe Impact. I don't know. But like a big thing going on with Impact is Kenny Omega, the AEW World Champion, is over there trying to win their World Championship too.
That's like just some amazing PR. Yo, we coming over here to y'all hood and taking y'all shit. Taking over.
And it's like, but this person from that company over there, New Japan, came over and jumped our guy John Moxley over here, and it's just like it's cool. It's
Kenta fucking gave
Yeah.
him go to sleep.
Yeah, even though John Moxley is still the IWGP United States Championship champion, which is one of my top 5 favorite championship designs. I
Bro,
really want to buy that
You
replica.
are so fucking basic. It hurts so much. Fuck.
How?
You mean
That's
it's one of
not
your
a-
fucking? It's fucking
That's not a-
ugly. That's why.
It's not
There's a
ugly.
big red fucking strap of
It
dumb
looks cool.
out-shaping plastic.
All right, give
What's wrong
me
with
your
you,
top
man?
5. No. Give me
Top
your top
5?
5 then.
Are we just talking like currently, or like I can go back
You
in
can do
history?
whatever
Or
the fuck you want to, King.
All right, so the number 1 is the NWA Heavyweight Championship. That's the number 1, point blank, end of story. Number 2 is the previous IWGP Heavyweight Championship before they rebranded it. Number 3 is the IWGP Intercontinental Championship before they.
Wait, we're talking about designs, right?
Yeah, we're talking about designs.
Okay.
Number 4 would be the 1986 version of the WWE Intercontinental Championship, and number 5 would be the NXT North American Championship.
Really? I mean, I like the fucking maroon strap. All right, my number 1 is probably the winged WWF belt. Then after that would be the big gold World Heavyweight Championship. Then
Yeah,
after
the World
that,
Heavyweight Championship was pretty decent.
then after that is the Eagle belt that Triple H had back when he had it. Then is the IWGP World Championship.
You attitude.
I
swear to God.
all right. The United States Championship got to go down one because after IWGP World Championship is the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. So it's top 10 though.
Anything that John Cena touched to make it spinner fucking sucked. I hate the spinner.
Riding
Yeah.
spinners.
Made
We
for
ride
fucking-
spinners.
Edge had a spinner belt too though. He took the WWE shit off and put the rated R symbol in there. That was
still
crazy.
stupid.
It was, but it was a fuck you to John Cena. So.
All right. Long story short, guys, wrestling is everything but wrestling, and this year's WrestleMania was just like every other year. It was meh. It was fine.
Night 1 was fire. Night 2 started Night 2 started trash. And then it just got really violent in the middle and never turned back.
Oh.
Like out of
Okay, all right.
nowhere,
This one
it
was
got
better than
incredibly
usual.
violent. Yeah. Like I don't know why they got so violent. Like somebody got kicked in the mouth upside down.
Jesus Christ.
Someone threw a chair.
Watch it on replay on the Peacock
Boondock
Network.
Trip.
Someone took a piece of a chair and put it in the dude's mouth to do the crossface.
There you go.
Ooh.
Nice. Yeah,
Like,
that
I'm
was
mad.
like motherfuckers was hitting each other with drums. Okay, I don't want to explain that match.
So beat
Did
that.
Xavier Woods have a match?
Yeah. He lost his tag team championship.
Oh wow.
That's a shame.
Well, shit, he might be going to do G4, so shit, he can't be
Yeah,
champion.
that's probably why they want to give him a reason to step down and he can put his time elsewhere.
Ooh, does that
Speaking
mean
of which-
Kofi? Yo, that might mean Kofi finna be like a singles champion again, a singles wrestler.
I hope so.
Potentially.
Man
But
deserves to get out of the tag team division. But yeah, speaking of which, G4 TV, rise up, gamers, rise up. Adam Sessler, Morgan Webb, they're all coming back. Kevin Pereira, Olivia
Plus
Munn.
Austin Creed.
Austin Creed is one of the new hosts.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen how Adam looks these days? He looking kind of old. I don't think he might be coming back.
He always look like that.
Adam always looks old, but the beard makes you go like, damn, where the fuck you been? Just like out in the cave being Moses or something?
Stepped out the hyperbolic time chamber. And it's like, whoa. Is he only supposed to be in there a year, Adam?
So all of us. So it's weird. So they call millennials. When they be talking about millennials, they talk about people under us, but the definition is like our age.
Wait,
Typically,
no,
we are literally millennials. When they're talking about millennials, they mean us.
But they be referring to younger people than us.
No, that's Gen Z. They specifically separate
Zoomers.
Yeah, Zoomers are the ones where they're talking a lot of trash. Millennials is us because we pushing 30. Anybody born before I think what 97? Yeah, 97 back before like the 80s. No, that's the millennial generation.
Anyway,
78.
If you are a millennial and a nerd and a long-standing nerd, you remember G4. You remember Attack of the Show. You remember what the show where they had the cheat codes and they would tell you.
They were yeah. You remember X-Play where they introduced you to the new games and they reviewed them.
By the way, it was 1981 and 1996. My bad, I was wrong.
Okay, I was off by a year as well.
Happy Tree Friends.
Happy Tree Friends.
Oh, Happy Tree Friends.
Them motherfuckers play anime. They play non-mainstream anime.
So real quick, we go about it this way. Everyone, top 3 G4 TV, television series. Go.
Hold on, let me. Ooh,
I barely remember 3 per se. Like all I remember was X-Play because that was my first time really seeing like reviews for video games. Like I didn't even really start reading like reviews for like in like magazines or stuff like that until I saw X-Play. And so I was like, what the fuck is this?
For
and I
me,
remember cheat codes because obviously. And didn't they have like a MLG like segment for like an hour or something like that, where they did like first person shooters?
Yeah, like and just like awesome scenes from like different things. They kind of merged that into Attack of the Show in the later years, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, because I didn't actually watch Attack of the Show that much when it started. I was just mainly just watching X-Play all day.
Okay, Brandon.
Yeah, from least to greatest, it was Attack of the Show, just because like it was never really consistent with what they're showing, and really all I cared about was the games. The next play, and I remember at the time I was watching on Comcast, and they always had like they had on I forgot what you called it, but like on the Comcast menu, you could like watch stuff like on demand.
Yeah,
and there was a section called Cutting Edge.
Oh yeah,
that was what anime was.
Yeah, and they would show like the game they had, and you could just skip to which one you want to see. I like that. Yeah. And then the main one I watched was Brainiac because they're always doing weird ass shit, like slow motion.
I got 5. All right.
You just couldn't stick to 3, huh? Go ahead.
All right, fuck it. I'll do 3.
No, don't be a bitch about it. Go ahead, do your 5.
No particular order.
He going for Derek too.
Attack of the Show. Attack of the Show. It's effing science. That shit was hard.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I was on there.
Cold Monkeys was cool.
I was waiting. Somebody was gonna bring up Cold Monkeys, man.
They played cheaters a lot.
They did start playing a lot of cheaters. And
I like cheaters. I don't care what anybody says. That was good.
They had the Man Show, and they had fucking American Ninja Warrior.
Oh yeah.
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 Right.
Also, G4
forget.
TV. Go ahead.
Don't forget about Cops.
Facts.
Everybody loves G4 and Cops.
Facts. Plus,
All
that's
those
where
24-hour cop marathons.
that's where the Marvel anime part, like, that's where all of that like played out. Blade, Iron Man, Wolverine, and X-Men. All of those, check those out. Those are on Netflix now. At least some of them, I think. Maybe not. Maybe.
Watch them.
Yeah, they should be. That's all of that aired first on G4 TV. Also, G4 TV had top 5 fucking morning programs. The motherfuckers had Battle Beat 'em On. The motherfuckers had Transformers Beast Wars. Motherfuckers had Bakugan. Like it was like they was up there when it came to morning cartoon before you had to go to school.
Fair enough.
I just remember their late
Cartoon
night
Network
anime
was
stuff.
the hardest.
One of my tops is from the late night because for me it would be from no particular order, but one of my favorites was Cold Monkeys. I fucking loved that show. Every episode was amazing. The characters were funny and unique, and like you could always rewatch an episode because there'll be just some little visual gag that you might have missed upon like third, fourth, and fifth viewing. And it was just a really creative show. And then there's Attack of the Show. And probably for the opposite reason, Brandon put it as least as one of my greatest. You turn it on, you don't know what the fuck you was about to watch. Typically tech and video game related, but the hosts were amazing and hilarious, and it was always something wacky going on, and it kept it fresh all the way into the end.
They showed titties.
Yeah, sometimes they showed titties, and Olivia Munn catching that hot dog in her mouth awakened something in me. And then we have Cinematech, which was that's the series where I used to play like video game trailers and like little like cutscenes from games at night, and it would come on in the middle of the night. And they'd just be playing some weird Japanese game you've never seen and just blow your fucking mind. It's like it just made you realize that the world of gaming is more vast than just Call of Duty and whatever's the new hotness in the fighting game community at the time. Like. It was dope. And an honorable mention would be Cheat. Not Cheaters, Cheat. It was when they would just like show different cheat codes and exploits in video games that you wouldn't know about. Like, I don't think I would have beaten the first Jack and Daxter if it wasn't for Cheat. It was like, yeah, this is how you beat the lava level. Oh shit, thank you. I've been here for months.
Yeah.
Yeah, G4 was like some amazing television. They had all sorts of stuff. I think it was an introduction for a lot of nerds and guys like us to like just geek them, not nerd them, geek them.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Because I went through the Wikipedia real quick to just go like, what? I'm forgetting all like the small stuff that they had, but I forgot. They had this thing called Game Makers, which was a series to follow the process of video game development. And I totally had forgot all about that because they showed some like really cool games back in the day, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot about this. There's some good stuff like Cinematech, like that in the back of my head. I didn't really realize it, but yeah, Nocturnal Emissions when they showed during their midnight block and stuff like that. They used to call it midnight spank and shit.
And they were
violence, sexually suggestive. Right, and they used to do like stuff for like anime, like Beck and stuff, and like just like weird Japanese games, Pretty Cure, School Rumble, dumb shit like that. And I was like, oh, that's why I became an otaku, right? Because the shit was dope as
like,
fuck.
A lot of people like the reference of waking up in the middle of a night in a cold sweat to be greeted by the introduction to the George Lopez show. Oh my, yeah. For me, it was waking up in a cold sweat. But if you talk to a lot of people from my generation, that's the thing. They remember just waking up in the middle of the night and that would be on. For me, it would be waking up in the middle of the night and Evangelion is on Cartoon Network or the fucking midnight block on G4 or the Inuyasha exit, the outro music. Never the intro. You always woke up to the outro.
Yeah,
I gotta see it's a show movie standing on that fucking rock.
Right. I think that's why I think that's why I shit on that show so much. I never actually got to watch any of it.
I'm a person whose significant other is like in love with Inuyasha. I've either been parlayed to just random marathons of it, and it's not a terrible show. But upon watching it so many times, you realize Inuyasha ain't shit, but it ain't his fault because Kagome ain't shit, and it really ain't her fault because the person she's reincarnated from ain't shit either. And then even more examination, you realize it's a fucking isekai. It was isekai before we knew what the hell isekai was.
Girl, you pretty much gave it the treatment I gave Cowboy Bebop, but in reverse.
Hold up. All right. I'm glad this came up organically. Oh my god. Okay. So I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this. Brandon, you have no idea. Ever since me and McGee started talking, he's mentioned you offhandedly, right? Shit. And he's always told me this thing that to this day I was just like, and he was like, yeah, Brandon doesn't like Cowboy Bebop. Like, what do you mean by that? And he goes like, yeah, he just doesn't like. He's like, there's something about it. I'm like, okay. And so I've just been waiting ever since I've met you. I've been waiting for it to organically come up because I was never gonna just bring it up because I'm not gonna come back. I don't like to start shit. But I've been waiting for you to just mention it offhandedly. And I'm like, wow, all right, cool. Because I have a little note here in my file. Hold up, I'm about to go get my notebook. I'm about to go get my notebook. Hold up.
I'm so glad I was here for all of this.
I'm so happy. This is gonna be a great episode.
And this is I'm so glad.
I've just been waiting for it. For you to bring up Cowboy Bebop. So this is an indictment.
Hold on, wait. Can I first say?
You serving me
first? Can I say something first?
Go ahead, say something.
Before you get started, I have not watched Cowboy Bebop. It's always been on. It's always been on my list. I never got around to it.
Well, before Derek goes on his indictment of Brandon
and Samurai Champloo.
Ooh, come on,
you really
brother.
Need to watch that. That one is that's Black culture.
Yeah, that's for the culture. You gotta watch Samurai Champloo, bro. Like,
it's on the list.
It's like real shit, no cap. Those two are some of the best animes you're gonna watch. They're considered classics for a reason. I hate to be that guy to overhype shit to people because nothing ever lives up to the hype of expectations. But
that's why I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I can believe it. Champloo is one of them, and Bebop is not, if not one of my favorites, is like one of the best animes I've actually sat down to watch because it has something for everybody.
And that's why. But see, that's another thing that's like different between age groups. Mm-hmm. For us, that's how niggas talk about. Niggas talk about Cowboy Bebop. Y'all, motherfuckers have got on my ass because I ain't watched them.
I can believe it. You're about to witness somebody get on somebody's ass about not watching it.
But that was our One Piece. That's the beef that these kids are having now. One Piece is the shit. Naruto's the greatest fucking thing ever. That's their Cowboy Bebop and Champloo.
Because anime is different now. Yeah. Those animes came out in a different era, a different animation style, and a different kind of passion brought to the writing. That was back when we're making this because we have a story to tell, and we're going to tell it. Not because some dude had a story and we can make some money off of it. That's the difference between these two animes and your typical shonen.
That's the facts.
And that's why I hate the way we talk, especially our generation, how we talk about anime from that era, but because that's back when anime wasn't mainstream, and I'm gonna sound like a goddamn hipster, but it was before it was mainstream. So if it was good, it was good for a reason,
bro. The fact that niggas that love anime get bitches now boggles my mind. Because niggas talked so much shit about us in high school.
Oh yeah, it was rough. Trust me, I remember them days. It was rough back then. Shit changed.
But now niggas are getting rich talk about anime.
Exactly.
Niggas are making livings.
Hashtag sponsor us. We trying to be them niggas getting rich talking about anime.
Yeah. Well, not Brandon. But
I was gonna say your mic got sound like the morning announcements.
I leaned in and put the hand on the mic just for that. Like I wanted to make sure it was heard. Hey, yo, look, we can be official too, But, support us putting the message in good word out.
And I'm a One Piece fan. Mm-hmm. I'm a One Piece fan on accident.
Mm-hmm.
Look, at last year, I remember it was February. I had just gotten the notice that we was gonna work remotely. that was the start of the fucking weirdest time period of my life.
Mm.
I was like, you know what? My reason for saying that I don't watch One Piece is because I ain't got time. Would you fucking look at that? I ain't got nothing but time. So me and a group of my friends that I met from Twitch, we got it. I made my Discord, and every night we will watch One Piece after my stream. We started from episode 1. We got past episode 600. I think we skipped filler. I'll say that because some people give me shit because I say that, but we skip filler. But fuck filler, I don't care. Yeah. But yeah, we made it to like 604 before I had to move away and my lifestyle changed and job stuff, and I couldn't be as available for that anymore. But now I read it instead.
I hear you. And as I'm going to tie this back to Cowboy Bebop.
The only difference is Cowboy Bebop is 26 episodes in the movie.
It's 26 episodes in the movie. You really ain't got to watch the movie, but the movie is solid. And the thing about Cowboy Bebop that I always tell people, which kind of like usually how it gets there, it's 26 episodes, and it's going to sound crazy, especially somebody who just watched 600 episodes of One Piece. Only 4 episodes of actual like character developing plot. The whole damn anime is filler. Oh yeah, 5. It's 5 episodes of actual character development. The whole anime is filler, and they did that on purpose.
For what? The journey don't matter. That was the message.
Technically, yeah, because these are all the anime is about moving past your past, and if you don't get over your past, your present technically doesn't exist, and you have no future. So what these people are doing in the present ultimately has no meaning because they're drifting through life, dwelling on something in their past they can't let go of. Now, those 5 episodes of actual character development, each of the different crew members of the Bebop eventually.
Wait. I have to tell you.
What?
Also, don't get a big head about this. No one has ever made me want to watch that shit more than what you just told me.
I know.
No one has ever explained it like that.
Yeah, I know. I know my capacity to break topics down. I know that very well.
And I asked somebody what the fuck Cowboy Bebop is about, they can never fucking tell me.
Exactly, because most people don't like. It's one of those things where you might not have noticed it, but your brain did.
It's dope. Just watch it. That's not enough for me.
I trust me. I get it. So those 5 episodes of just actual character development. That's when each one of those characters has a moment where they deal with their past and they're better for it. Until you ultimately get to the last person who cannot, and guess what? He's the main character, and it's the last fucking episode.
Don't he get shot in the head or some shit?
No.
Oh.
No.
No, that's not what happens.
He goes out with a bang, but
you got to carry that weight. Say that much. He gonna carry that weight.
And the same thing with Samurai Champloo. Nobody ever tells me what it's about. They just say it's dope. You gotta watch it.
It's made by the same people, and that one I honestly can't break down as much because I haven't watched it as much. But it's just about these 3 people who find solace in their current inability to deal with their life situations in each other. And then through helping each other, they build each other up to eventually move forward in life.
Okay, I can fuck with that.
Yeah,
Really,
that really is a big long-term storytelling thing that Shinichiro Watanabe does, and that's the guy who created all these series.
Yeah, he made both of them series.
I now want to watch them.
Yeah, and like legit, they're both short anime. I think Champloo is 26 episodes as well, right?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's a solid watch. I need to actually rewatch it because I have a terrible memory when it comes to like episode titles and what went down in individual episodes if I haven't watched it repeatedly. That's just a thing with me. And Champloo, from what I remember, each episode is entertaining. The characters are great. And that's when it has Nujabes. Like, that's just hip-hop history right there. That is one of that man's greatest legacies. Yeah, lo-fi hip-hop, he defined that genre and he manifested it to like some of his best work in Champloo. Like all of that is just hip hop, and like all the singing transitions is like record scratches, and like it's so fucking beautiful. I've never seen Japanese culture and Black culture be intertwined in such a beautiful way.
That's all the fuck that lo-fi is now.
Yeah. And with Bebop, you can say the same thing, but with jazz. Bebop, like the most recent time I rewatched Bebop, and Derek was on the jazz kick. Those 2 things combined got me into jazz.
Okay, so now
Most
I'm
of the episodes are named after like big albums like Sympathy for the Devil, shit like that. Honky Tonk Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's this one big love letter to like neo noir, American jazz,
Mm-hmm.
the idea of the Western, all
Mm-hmm.
mixed into this hodgepodge of like different cultures together, which essentially you can take as the word for bebop is.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, shit works. Shit fucking
Yeah.
works, bro.
It's what Outlaw Star wanted to be. So bad. So
Yeah.
fucking bad. Outlaw Star is good, but Outlaw Star really wanted to be. It wanted to be bebop, where everything is plot, and it didn't do it well. But
Yeah.
to Brandon and Derek, you guys' conversation. Brandon, why don't you tell us why your thing about bebop? Because you have a thing.
Hold on. I had an opening statement. I had an opening statement.
This nigga wrote it. Did you put it in MLA format? Did you put it in MLA format?
Shut the fuck up.
No, the Brandon goes first. Opening argument.
I present to you today,
Oh,
to my
God.
fellow jurors and people, the case of one Brandon
Hi.
not liking Cowboy Bebop. The question becomes why. In our culture today,
I need a
we
gavel.
ask ourselves,
Fuck.
what does entertainment mean? What do we strive for? What do we seek as more than ourselves? Constantly we look for these answers within within the things that we do, that we watch, that we read, and so forth. And I argue that Cowboy Bebop might be one of the most influential, if not one of the most monumental written things ever. Put to paper, put to celluloid, I can't say it right, whatever. I didn't have a written statement. Actually, I just wanted to make a big thing.
Shut up, nigga.
Oh, that's
But yeah,
professionally
Brandon,
typed to me.
question.
Yes.
Why don't you like Bebop? I've been wanting to ask you this forever. Been waiting for it. Why don't you like Bebop, bro?
Well, before I get to that, I have to give a little filler as far as my anime background.
Yeah, he doesn't even like anime like that.
Well, I didn't say that. I don't go looking for anime. Most of the time when Adult Swim was on and Ghost in the Shell, Full Metal Alchemist and shit, like I would be like on my sister's laptop, like messing around with games, and the stuff would be on in the background. And if it's like something that'll make me like look at it occasionally, I'll leave it on the TV. If not, I change channel. Now, for me, wherever Cowboy Bebop will come on, it's the intro. The intro to me, all I see is just niggas sitting around smoking.
Real quick. What's your Twitter, Latrell?
Wait, why?
Cause I'm
so confused.
Okay.
Is this one of those things you could have brought up later? I'm gonna remember that, but like we can talk later about my Twitter. Go ahead.
Like usually when I see anime coming on and the little intros and stuff, like they got like the hype, Japanese music, you don't understand what the fuck they're saying, but like the images and shit going on, and like it gets you like amped up for the show, like whoa, that looks cool. And like for me, Cowboy Bebop will come on, and it's got like this. I don't know. I just think of like a street like gas station place or whatever, and like just everyone on the fucking intro is just like smoking cigarettes. And so what I got from that is like this is just a show about niggas smoking. So I changed the channel. and yeah, also another background is like as far as like shows in general, not just anime, because I have gone looking for some shows. Like if I just hear like renowned opinion of them, like just everywhere, like I do with like Death Note and Attack on Titan, I'll go check them out.
Invincible.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say Invincible.
Yeah, Invincible. Yeah, but like for me, if something from the get-go doesn't hold my interest or make me want to be invested in it, I'm gonna avoid it. Latrell and I got into fights about that all the time. He'd be like, "Oh, you should watch this show." I'm like, "Okay." And I watched the first episode. I'm like, I think this is boring. He's like, "Oh, you gotta give it like 35 episodes. It's a rule." Fuck that. For me, your pilot episode should get you invested into the storyline to make you want to find out more. And like, if you can't do that correctly, in my opinion, then you're bad at storytelling, and you shouldn't have chosen show format, or at least the block of time that you have. But that's how
I actually do agree with you. I don't think you need 3 episodes to actually. If you know yourself enough, you can tell if you like the first episode of something and feel like I can continue on with this, or at the very least, I'm gonna drop this and come back to it way later and shit.
Yeah.
But there are
I do agree
shows
with
whose
that.
episodes don't matter.
Now,
Y'all just told me Cowboy Bebop is 5 episodes of canon. Like,
Now,
like there's some episodes that
No,
don't
all
matter.
of it's canon. All of it's canon, but the storylines told, most of them are one-off characters. Like, to call it filler is a bit of a misnomer, but it is filler for the characters. Like the key character developing tales is 5 episodes. Everything else is the characters being who they are, put in different situations, and them handling it based on who they are.
Yeah.
Like, most anime is about that growth, that constant growth. If you watch enough anime, you realize constant growth becomes a problem because either character development has either get stagnant or reversed, or they keep telling interesting stories, or power creep happens and the story gets boring. That's just a thing with shonen. And Bebop circumcedes all of that. But yeah, only 5 of these episodes really matter for the growth of these characters. And after those episodes, the characters are noticeably different.
Well,
continue.
It's about like 8 or so episodes, like for in terms of like all the characters in terms
If you want to count some of them Ed episodes, but Ed is a very unique individual. We could probably sit and talk about this entire podcast about what Ed represents for the Bebop crew, and that's why she has a couple more episodes. But for the most part, Ed is in the background of most shit that's going on.
But like there's stuff for like Faye too. She has her own couple of episodes and stuff. But for like the main story of like what's going on between like the space mafia and like Spike and his story, and ties more into Jet, it is really just 5 episodes. Those are like the most quote unquote important in terms of like real character progressing stuff. It's about 10 or so episodes, including the 5 main ones, and the rest are more episodic nature kind of stuff, little short stories told inside of their 24-minute window that are just very entertaining and like their own little genre piece, each and every last one of them. You'll have one that's like an actual old school Western kind of vibe episode.
Let him see it for himself. His perspective has been shifted. Let him see it.
Actually, no. What I was trying to tell you is I'm a man of my word. I just put it on the TV.
Yeah, I saw. I just checked the message you sent me. Yeah, and I sent you my Twitter.
I'm just now watching it.
And so, what's up? Real quick, to address Brandon's whole thing about my 3-episode rule, the main reason I still kind of stick to that, because like me and Derek have argued this a lot as well. Like how we just shifted Garland's perspective on anime. Sometimes you don't know how your perspective or how you're perceiving something is affected by outside influences. So you give it 3 episodes because it gives you time to like sit and think about it, or to think like how can I view this in a way in which I can see what the creator was going for. And sometimes in some animes, they might have that. It don't show itself in that first episode. They might want to try to spend some more time on character development, or maybe it's an esoteric creator. Like everything can't be Ava or fucking Champloo, where like I think I know what kind of ride I'm going to be on, or like Naruto.
Also, sometimes you need the next 2 episodes for shit to calm down.
To really sit with you.
Like
before I forget,
Invincible.
Wait, hold on. Brandon will forget. What's up? Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Champloo too. Now, I can also tell you the times I turned on the TV mid-episodes of both those shows, and I decided I want nothing to do with these. All right, so Samurai Champloo, I remember turned on TV. It was just like hairy motherfucker in like a bathtub, and that dude with the glasses, I think his name was Gene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Am I correct? Okay, yeah. Okay, so he's talking about like fireflies exhibiting like homosexual behavior or whatever, as he about to like get ass naked in the bathtub. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And so I turned the TV off.
Wait, isn't that the episode where they end up like having to rescue old girl
I don't
from
know.
the boudoir? No, I'm asking Derek because he knows episode. That's the episode they have to rescue her from the boudoir because she owed money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that's literally they dealing with a bunch of fucking creeps. They're dealing with it like, yo, what the fuck have we found ourselves in? Because it's one of them shows where the characters, it follows the characters on their roaming and they end up in shit.
Yeah, that's the same. That's again like One Piece. Motherfuckers just ran up on an island and got to fight niggas.
Now, my first impression,
yo, Bebop.
Yeah, was about, I don't know, I'm pretty sure there's like a main female character or whatever, but I remember a female and she like owed like a lot of money or whatever. Mm-hmm. And like just, I don't know, it with no context or whatever, I did not care. So turn TV off.
Okay, But
Like I can literally tell you the moments I got to like I can remember these parts of these shows.
yeah, but there's people that say that about Dragon Ball, about Naruto, about
Oh.
a lot of the shit we love. You come in mid episode with no context in the middle of the season.
That's honestly a meme that the fans was like, yo, you remember you used to be watching anime and like it could be the coolest shit ever. You could be watching fucking Evangelion and then it's a show about this character finding himself and learning what his manhood is and getting over his trauma and it's real deep and introspective. But your mom walk in on the scene, he's jerking off over the unconscious girl. You can't explain that shit. Like,
I'm sorry, what?
I mean, like from a pilot of a show, like when like third, fourth grade, whatever, everybody go home, Toonami to watch Dragon Ball Z, whatever. You could just see the intro. You see a bunch of muscly niggas shooting beams, yelling and turning gold and shit. Like, whoa, that look cool as hell. And I don't have no context of the plot. Like the intro just shows me what it's about.
Yeah,
that plot was a very loose term.
Exactly.
Also, that's the intro. That's not the middle of the episode.
But I'm bringing
the context for like the times he's seen other anime and the same thing didn't happen.
Because if you come in the Android Saga with Yamcha getting a fucking hand through his chest, I don't know how you even fit that.
I mean, shit's still happening though.
You come in with Krillin trying to hit on the chick while he got a bomb in his hand.
Like as a kid, like I wasn't that crazy about like
Naruto.
I would fucking fall asleep during the Lord of the Rings when I was a kid. I could watch it now because I understand like bigger ideas and stuff. But like back then, I would wake up in the fucking fight scenes. Like I don't understand what's going on.
I kind of feel that way about Harry Potter, but I did go back and watch all of the Harry Potter.
Okay, so what I got from all of that is that you saw the intro of Cowboy Bebop, and you saw the intro where the jazz started playing, and you saw how Spike they did a shadow backlit thing. You saw him smoking. You're like, I don't want to deal with smoke. So I got a problem with smokers in general. Like, your family have a long history like smokers, and you just don't deal with that shit or something.
I have a grandma who smokes. Well, had
smoked.
Wait, I'm gonna be right back.
All right. So you don't like smoking. All right, so I can guarantee you the anime is not about smoking. All right, we'll just put that off the board right now. Put that off the board right now. Yeah. Wow. I've just kind of been stunned since that one part. I haven't been listening to anything else you guys have been saying. That was just that one part. Like, what?
Like it stunned the fuck out of you. Couldn't even respond.
Yeah, I never heard that where someone gave up that fast on something.
He hurt himself in his confusion.
Like, yeah, I've
I thought I had what more have to go on, but all I really have is
like
skip the intro then and just watch the show. I think you've heard from everybody now at this point is a very sophisticated, mature show about moving past your past, and even then knowing that your past is always going to be with you, that you're always going to carry that weight. It has a lot of fucking amazing action sequences in there. The characters are all fleshed out. It has a funky ass soundtrack. But then, like, if you want me to go more in detail with everything, I'm more than happy to. But I'm like, yeah, man, just skip the intro, bro. That's all I gotta say at this point. Shit.
The scenes are so memorable that so many shonen animes have stolen scenes from Spike's. Like his foot shuffle from the movie when he's fighting on that train has been spoofed by so many animes. It's almost at like Akira levels when he does that bike slide. I haven't even seen Akira, but I know about that damn bike slide. Like it's just, man, it's just a really good.
First impression of everything. Especially
with people, yeah. But I mean,
I don't know, especially with shows and media.
I really do think we should just have like right after.
Like, I grew up in the
all sit down and just watch Cowboy Bebop for the next like 2 or 3 episodes. Because I ain't got work tomorrow. I'm more than happy to just sit down.
I'm part of the era where you would watch your favorite show or whatever, and it would come on, a new episode would come on every week. And so basically you get that traction from one episode. Like, I'm trying to think of a perfect example, like fucking Static Shock, Yu-Gi-Oh, stuff like that. Like I would just see like one episode per week, Samurai Jack. And like just from me seeing one episode, I was hooked. So I know it's doable, but like I'm not with the whole like give it more time. It's like, no, like you need to catch my interest now with the time you have. Like if you catch someone's interest, you could always go further, into it. You're not gonna explain everything, but like hook me, And I'm not saying like my taste is the best, but like if I'm not hooked by it, I'm not gonna keep looking for it and give it another chance.
The beautiful thing about Cowboy Bebop, because it's episodic, some episodes are clearly better than others. Some episodes are clearly worse than others.
That
Honestly,
fucking episode chasing the dog.
Yeah, straight up.
Straight up, you can name the one where it's just like, I can skip this on the rewatch. It introduces the dog character, cool, but and the cool black dude.
There's a black dude in there. His name is Hakeem. He's super tall, has this afro. Yeah, he looks really fucking cool, actually. And
but he's in one of the worst episodes.
I kind of do actually like that episode. The only episode I think I really don't like from Bebop is Boogie Woogie Feng Shui.
Which one is that? I don't really know.
That's an episode with Jet, and he's trying to. He gets like an email from an old acquaintance of his and stuff, and he's trying to figure out what happened. And his daughter comes back and needs help finding something or some shit like that. I don't know. That's the only one I don't like. And I remember this because it came right after one of my favorite episodes, Peru Le Fou, Requiem for a Clown, right? This is the one I honestly think we should just sit you down to watch, because it's so, you don't need any context for it, because it's so just by itself that almost none of the other characters really involve themselves at all with anything else. It's just kind of Spike doing his own thing. He meets and like yeah, I'm basically about to spoil it, but like
don't spoil it.
I'm not. Look, when you see it,
don't spoil it. If we're gonna try this, and if he's willing to give that shot,
I'm not.
You can hear a spoiler and watch it and still enjoy it.
Brandon, you already know he's sitting here going, he's not even going to attempt to give us the 22 minutes to watch an episode.
He just said he doesn't care about spoilers.
No, he said I'm not, as in he's not going to sit down and watch.
You're both right.
Yeah. Like, if you know him, he's not. His mind has been made up. There is no convincing him here. That's why I wanted to hear this discussion, because I would love to hear like your opinions on why he won't watch it. But I knew at the end of it, he wasn't. At best, we was going to get Garland and check it out, and then I can already guarantee you in about a week or two, Garland going to be singing his praises. But Garland's back now.
You'll see.
Yeah, I know. I heard him. It's like, so yeah, that's all I can say. I thought there would be, like, I don't want to sound like antagonistic, I swear to God, but like I thought there would be more reasons than why you didn't like Bebop or something. Like you saw a whole episode and you just didn't like it. And I was gonna go into and why, but I didn't think it would be like, yeah, I saw the intro and I thought it was just a bunch of niggas smoking, and then I said stop, and I'm like, well, you stopped me. The whole notebook. I don't know if you can hear it. That's just on the ground now. I got nothing to do.
Because we can't really like argue about it. I haven't seen it. You have, and so like it's just not gonna get anywhere.
The only option we had was if Garland wanted to do like a let's watch, we sit down and watch it. And Brand, I'll literally give you $20, dude. If you hate watching one episode, and I mean coming in with an open mind and just watching the episode, I'll give you $20, and if you don't, if you don't like it, you keep the $20. If you do, I keep my $20. Like, open minded, sit down. Yo, it's 20 minutes. It's $1 with inflation, $1 for the minute. Like, yo, one episode.
That's a solid bet.
It really is, because like I would say, dude, literally the first episode. If you can't be hooked by that first episode, old girl running around, she pregnant, trying to help out her mafia boyfriend who done like screwed over his partners on a drug deal, and they on the run, and the Bebop. Yeah, they go to Tijuana, and like they trying to catch, and like the Bebop crew's trying to catch him. He's their first bounty, and he just introduces just these laid back guys who like they're friends, but they're not like that classical man friends. Well, they don't talk about shit personal. They friends because of convenience and the situation of the shit they can do together. And like it's just like, man, who are these people? What's going on? It's man. Because I understand your indifference towards the intro, because the intro got me for completely opposite reason. It just reminded me of like back in the day when my granddad would like go to the lounge and I was stuck hanging out with him, he'd bring me, and like I'm sitting in this place with all these just like these men, just these men sitting around talking about real shit or just in silence enjoying each other's company, listening to music. And it was just like, man, this is what men do, just vibe. And that's the vibe I get from looking at the intro. Because it's like they get up and they gotta go do something. It's like it's time to move, and they get to move and they run in. It's just using the character, showing them in their poses. You get a feel for who they are just from like the quick cuts. It's just like
they exude personality from the silhouettes themselves. It fucking works on every level, man.
The big thing for me is I'm not hearing you, Brandon. Give me a sec, and Garlight, 1 second. Let me finish this last thought. And like the musicality of it all, because that's something that's big for me. And when I say musicality, I mean when music and action and storytelling are intertwined in a way that unless you're looking for it, you can't tell. But when you notice it, you appreciate it. The movements, the way they speak, the way they move, just all of it is intertwined to the way where like you're there, you feel it. It's like it hits your soul, man. But go ahead, what you guys about to say?
Well, I was gonna say heavy reason just why like I'm not like a big show person in general. Like I think you've noticed that by now. Like I'm always like, hey, watch a movie, whatnot. It's such a. I don't like things that are like surface level that are a huge investment. So like
surface level.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me finish. Okay. What I mean by that is just something that like I don't necessarily deem that important in the grand scheme of things. Like whenever I watch something, it's purely for entertainment. If I'm gonna watch something and it's like, oh, this is 40 episodes, then I'm like, this is a whole fucking investment that I have to do, as opposed to me like, oh, let me just find something cool to watch for like an hour or so and have a good time. And same thing with games. Like, I don't play stuff like World of Warcraft or anything like that because like you gotta grind, you gotta level up, you gotta consistently, raid and get all your stats up and shit, as opposed to the games I play now. I play like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Street Fighter, League. I can just play a quick game, have some fun, and then forget about it. That's my mindset. Whenever I'm doing something like that, I feel like, oh, I could be perfecting something else in my life, as opposed to me committing all this time to me watching a series.
But then that dips into whether or not you appreciate the effects media have on your personal development. But that's a different thing.
The wildest thing to me is he's an artist.
Yeah, exactly. That's really confusing for me. Like, as an artist, you should understand how art affects you and helps you develop as a person.
My art, not anyone. Yeah, my art, not anyone else's. Yeah. I like to improve my stuff.
Technically,
that would be a way of improving.
I can't.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but possibly.
But possibly, yeah.
Possibly, but if it's possibly, I don't want to waste time.
But that's where the perspective shift I was talking about when I coming in with open mind. There is personal development that can be gleaned if you shift how you're going to view the piece of media you're consuming.
I mean, that could be said with anything, really.
I mean, yeah, but we're not talking about anything. We're talking about specifically a show, because not all anime is created equally. So not all anime is just gonna like help you develop as a person, or help you view things differently. Because the thing about life is you develop from experiences. Now, if you're the kind of person who want to go out and do stuff, that's cool. But there's also the experience. Wait, don't interrupt me. There's also the experiences you can get from viewing something. Because like you're a person who learns, you can learn from watching someone else's mistakes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can glean perspective based off the actions and events around situations, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with shows, you do that when you're watching it. So if it's a deep show like Evangelion, Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, you can glean perspective based off these characters and these situations. Yes, they may be fake, true, but when the writing is real, when there's actual emotion and intelligence put into it, there is development you can gain from seeing these different perspectives. Because yeah, maybe in wacky situations, them situations breed character development, they breed decision making, they breed opportunities for people to like learn something.
Great facts.
Also, what I'm saying, don't go, because I'm gonna forget. Anyway, what I'm saying is, pretty much what I'm taking from what you're telling me is me watching shows is the only way for me to get experience in anything.
That's not what I said. That is not what I said in any sense of the word.
It kind of is in a way
It really
because
isn't. It's not.
it's
I think it's a potential avenue.
yeah, it is. But regardless, I'm going to get experience from anything I do in life. And so if I find something enjoyable and something not enjoyable, that's up to me. Like I'm someone who if I'm looking for like information to improve myself, I'm going to directly seek that information out, not necessarily look at someone's life story on it.
I mean, I guess because he don't even like long movies. Like he's like his shit real short form.
That is true.
So I gotta ask now, what has been like one of the what has been a piece of media that like an actual like piece of media that has like informed your like art at all then?
As far as me doing art, that comes from me doing real life studies, people teaching me certain techniques, stuff like that.
I mean, has there ever been a single piece of media that you can highlight that has like had an impact on your art?
Or you as a person.
Yeah.
As far as art goes, I would just say Jim Lee Marvel Comics X-Men that I'd have when I was growing up, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Brandon was always the guy I would talk to about comics. Like he didn't like neither one of us bought them, but we like would just go to the Wikia and read shit, and that would be a big thing for us. He was really big into heroes until recent findings of certain things.
And yeah, like as far as comics goes, that was kind of something. It wasn't necessarily forced on me, but like it was present. Like my dad would give me those for my birthday or Christmas. My grandpa, he was a huge collector of things, cards, comics, games, you name it. And so like that stuff was always in my environment.
And Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay. And why do you think the Jim Lee's X-Men run really resonated with you?
I don't know. As a kid, I just thought the heroes were really cool.
And so that's what your art is like now, is just like the rule of cool?
Not necessarily.
How would you describe your art now then?
Honestly, I mostly do it for enjoyment. Like when I'm drawing, I enter a flow state and it just takes my mind off of stuff. It makes me happy. I don't really draw for other people unless like I'm doing a commission or whatever. But like, yeah, perfect example. Like I'll draw like little Yu-Gi-Oh play mats and they're not popular, but like I really enjoy doing it, so I still do it.
So you're, correct me if I'm wrong. Your art stems from just I enjoy it purely. I just enjoy it, so thusly I want to create it and bring it into the world, and that's it. Like
for the most part, yeah.
Huh?
I can fuck with that.
Yeah.
Because that is also an approach.
Yeah.
It is an approach.
To
It is an
fucking
approach.
streaming. People play the games that they like playing, and I don't give a fuck what. And you either like it too, or you like me enough to watch me play this that I enjoy.
It's like I've this might be, TMI, but whatever. Yeah, I've gone the route of like drawing things that people like. Like I used to draw, not safe for work stuff for a little while. I did not enjoy it. It's not what I wanted to draw. Sure, I got like success and popularity from it and a few dollars here and there, but like it's not what I wanted to do. And that's kind of just a balance of mixing and having a living and just having your hobbies and things that you love. So that's another conversation. But
yeah, I am definitely more invested and excited to see what you think of Bebop then, because even if you're not a show person, we can show you the movie, because that doesn't really need any context either.
Yeah, and like I'd be up for that.
It's its own individual hour and a half kind of like story in itself.
Yeah, and that's what I like.
You don't really need a lot of context for the movie.
Yeah, perfect. But yeah, like just whenever I hear the word chill, like now, Garland brought up that show Invincible that just came out on Amazon. I watched it this week, and that's because I found out there was only 4 episodes at the time. So I was like, oh, cool, I could watch one of these a day. And yeah, that was doable. And pretty much they do one a week. I could do one a week. You know, that's not irrational. But like when something's like already established, like, you know, One Piece or something, like, oh yeah, you gotta watch this. Oh, it's 700 episodes. Ain't nobody got time for that. I deem things more important than that. You know?
No, understandable. You don't want to put the time commitment in because to you there might be just too much of a chance of it not being to your taste, and it feels like you just wasted your time on it. Where you could have been right
fulfilling or just something more entertaining. Yeah. And like with movies, I felt like go ahead.
No, go on. You was about to say for movies though?
Yeah, with movies it's like less of a big commitment because they're typically standalone 1-2 hour blocks.
Okay. So 2 questions, 2 follow-ups. So do you like the MCU in its current iteration then?
That's a whole.
Let's start a whole separate conversation.
Pretty much it ended for me after Endgame. That's when I stopped caring about it. The movie that I saw that made me stop caring was Spider-Man: Far From Home. That pretty much removed all my interest.
So you quit right after the final phase, so you haven't just because I mean the only things that came out since then is WandaVision and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Which is interesting bringing it up because Falcon and the Winter Soldier has been pretty solid. I still haven't watched that most recent episode, but it's been enjoyable. They've been touching on some really interesting background things in the MCU.
I just hate that it's so short because episode 4 came out and it's only 2 episodes left. But I feel like they got a lot of fucking ground to cover still, though.
But there's just opening up more stuff they can pick up on either future shows or in movies.
Yeah. If once you see episode 4, you'll realize why you're like, okay, I can see why there's only the 2 episodes left. I'm glad that there's only 2 episodes left because I don't want them to draw this.
Yeah,
out
draw this shit out.
But then that means we're as soon as we get Anthony Mackie as Cap, it's gonna be over.
Good.
Yeah, good. That's the arc. That's a whole arc.
That is the arc. Yeah.
That is really that's the big question like that needs to be answered. What happens with the Shield? And they show what they could do, and they're going to show why you shouldn't do it, which is what I'm assuming happens in the next episode that just came out I haven't seen. And it's going to go into the result of him being Cap. And that's what they need to do. They don't need to draw this out. It's like WandaVision. Yeah, it probably needed maybe 1 or 2 more episodes, but it covered the story it wanted to tell. And I feel like that's the goal with these little mini-series going into the next arc. It's covering a lot of the individual characters' side arcs, and you're learning more about them and like what they went through and what they're going through with since the blip.
I get it. The way you say it like that, I get it. We doing this so we ain't got to explain that shit in the next movie.
Yeah, because people got little minds. It gives them a chance to either come back and watch it, and if they want to find out more, or if they don't care, they're just there for the pretty lights and heroes fighting.
No, I think that's for the writers too. Like we ain't got to put all this fucking exposition in.
They've never put a lot of exposition in. That's never been Marvel's thing. The most exposition that was in the movie was in fucking Endgame, and that was the Endgame.
Yeah, and Infinity War.
Infinity War was just mostly just shit happening. Come on, let's be real.
No, I'm saying like if you view it like that, then the first if they had been following this model, fucking Iron Man, Cap, Thor, those would have been series, and then the main movie would have been Avengers because they explained fucking Hawkeye and Thor, and they explained Black Widow and
I mean,
Iron Man
in quote unquote in hindsight, maybe you could have said that, but these were unproven characters at the time.
I know.
Everybody wants to go like, Iron Man was
they-
so big. No, Iron Man was a C-list hero by the time the first movie came out.
Yeah,
the reason why that movie came out.
Movies. There wasn't no hype for that. And the main reason this is working now is because of we're in weird times. We're in weird times when they can get away with releasing these kind of things on streaming. A lot of this stuff we're getting now probably would have been like a mini movie. Let's be real.
Yeah,
They're only doing it because let's just try a series and try to see how people respond to it, especially the episodic nature, because that's the big thing too. If they just dumped it all out there, people wouldn't be as hyped. They learned from the Mandalorian that people kind of like being drip fed the story. It gives them time to like develop their own fan theories, get hyped for what happens, actually have like what's the term, Derek, when they just leave you in the dark at the end of the episode? I can't think of it right now. Cliffhanger. Appreciate you guys. But yeah, they can have cliffhangers that get you hyped for what's coming next. Like them breaking Zemo. When I'm like, spoilers, people ain't seen it. With them breaking out that one character to do the cool things and go on the heist adventure, it's like, yo, what they about to do with this dude? And then you get to like fan theory and like go through your head like your own canon and what's about to happen. And if it happens, cool. If it don't, oh man, let's see what they're doing. The writers are so creative. It's a new way of doing things. It only can happen because everyone's air quotes in quarantine and they're at home needing something to do. And since they don't want to have theaters open, people bum rushing theaters, let's do this so we can get the hype for when things are better and we can start putting out the movies again.
And also, it's just natural par of course. I mean, that's why I had asked Brandon about the MCU because now understanding more of his ethos when it comes to enjoying art and enjoying
you want to know what makes this nigga tick. Yeah, it took a while.
I'm very fascinated with picking your brain over the next year. That's gonna be something.
The thing with the MCU is like each of those stories stands alone, and there's like hidden Easter eggs or whatever. But like, they all stand alone by themselves very well. And like, there's several. What
was that?
Still goes back to comics. Your initial interest in comics and Marvel comics specifically.
Yeah, that's why he did the transition to movies, because the MCU movies, because that's the most closest thing to comics. We can understand his visual media taste. I see what Derek was doing, but
that is just the idea of us growing up with these media. Like the MCU is technically what, like 10 years, 12 years old now, or so.
Something like
that. Are you talking about the movie stuff, or in general? You talking about just the movie stuff?
The whole cinematic universe. Basically, it came out when we were in high school.
No, the first Hulk came out in 2001.
That don't count.
That doesn't count.
That one don't count. There was
canon, bro.
I mean,
Edward Norton
the guy that played Tyrant is the one they reference who's in prison right now. That movie counts. It's garbage. It's trash, but that counts as the MCU.
But they add, because
they count as the MCU. You're completely wrong about that.
Not wrong. The Tyrant from that movie is the one that's in prison. They reference it. They name him. The guy that comes in the second one with what's his name, Derek? I know you know from the second Hulk. In that one, they Edward Norton. They referenced events from the first one.
So the reason it counts is because they retroactively added after Iron Man.
Here's the thing: you're thinking of the one in 2008, not Ang Lee's Eric Bana movie where he's talking about, "Oh, I was abused as a child, and that's why."
That's exactly the one I'm talking about. Where he fights the dumb puppies. I remember the one I'm talking about.
That's not part of the MCU, Mike.
It is part of the MCU. I hate that movie. I don't like the movie. I don't think it should be, but it is because the Tyrant from it is referenced in MCU. But if we're talking about when it all started, that's where it started. It flopped. They rebooted the shit with Iron Man, and it took off then. And they rebooted Hulk. They tried to start with Hulk. It didn't go well, and they restarted it again. So I know it's trash, but I'm sorry.
It's not even about it being trash. It's just about it being.
Wait. The Incredible Hulk premiered at the Gibson Amphitheater in Universal City, California on June 8, 2018 and was released in the United States on June 13th as part of Phase 1 of the MCU. The Edward Norton one is in 08.
He's talking about 2000. We know about 2008. We're talking about 2008.
That's not we're talking about the one before that.
That's the one in the MCU, not the other one. That's what I'm saying.
All right, I might be wrong if I am cool, but I'm pretty sure that shit's canon. But continue with the point you were trying to make.
I just typed it in. This says the 2003 is not canon. That it is loosely connected by part of that the Tyrant is there, but that does not mean canonicity. That just means the Tyrant, which is a part of the Hulk's gallery in general.
I don't know, man. If they still referencing and taking stuff from it, but hey, if it says it's not, it's not. I'm not. This is not a hill. This is not a hill. Derek, I know you love it when I'm wrong. This is not a hill I'm trying to die on. We can move on.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I forgot where we were now, though.
That's why I was trying to stop you. Like, yo, okay, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not trying to die on this hill. The movie's garbage. We all agree on that, right?
Get him.
Jesus.
Which movie?
I think it's okay.
Motherfucker.
Any of the Hulk movies? Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
No, any of the Hulk movies is thing.
I enjoyed it when I was a kid. I would not watch it again.
I tried. It was on Amazon for a little while. It was not great. It's not good. I just remember it being too dark because I watched it on bootleg and didn't like it then.
My point is that these are movies that came out when we were in high school, and it's still going now as one big continuous story, and that's very interesting for like, or when I'm like thinking about the ethos of Brandon of going like, yeah, they're self-contained movies, but like, you know, they're self-contained movies, but the continuity that does eventually will keep building and building, and just like comics, we have to at some point get to a like a world-ending like Crisis on Infinite Earths ultimatum kind of scenario, because there's no way we can keep continuing on this trend, right? Like 15 something years, 20, 30 years of continuous story. There has to be
true optimistic. They are gonna milk this shit until the cow is dry and dead. When people stop caring to watch these movies, that's when they'll stop. Now they're going to continue to do little miniseries, movies, and all sorts of stuff until they reboot it again. They got a brand new people in. Now, once people start liking the people they bring in, then they'll stop. It's going to be like the DC universe. It's going to be just like DC. Until people say, yo, this is trash, we don't care no more, and hate it, they're going to keep trying.
I'm not debating that it's not going to keep going on.
They're going to have a new Iron Man movie with a completely different nigga and act like 2008 would never happen.
No,
they're not going to do that, though. They're going to always reference the OG stuff because that's what got people hooked.
No, I'm talking about after it dies and then reboots.
I'm just saying there has to be a Crisis on Infinite Earths moment where we're going to have to...
Crisis on Infinite Earths because you're making me sad.
And that's
like my favorite... No, it's not that. That's my favorite DC story on Earth 52, I believe. And we'll never get that because the DC universe is just ass cheese.
Well, we're gonna get an ultimatum, which is the Marvel, which was a Marvel or a House of M version of that. We're gonna have to get that sooner rather than later. Because
the thing is,
years of continuity, we have to reboot this thing.
But the thing is,
well, not reboot, but we're gonna need like a fresh start again.
Oh, they're gonna be like Young Avengers. The roadmap is there. Look at the comics. The roadmap and where this shit going. They've been setting it up for years. Once they integrated the comic division and the movie divisions.
Yeah, they just did similar to House of M with WandaVision, but they're doing that to. I feel like that's the road mark to get fucking X-Men in because they have to figure out a way to do that. But
they tried to supersede the X-Men with New Mutants and with the what's the ones, not the Untouchables, not the Immortals. It's the weird not mutants but they mutants. They're Inhumans. They tried to do it with that and no one remembers that show. Did y'all watch it? I didn't.
I wanted to go back and watch it, but
it flopped. So they kind of dropped that whole development because it's not as interesting as actual mutants. So they're just going to try and get mutants and introduce them to the MCU. Granted, they had that red herring in WandaVision, but you never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are 2 Young Avengers characters in WandaVision.
Yep. And it's at the end of WandaVision, slight spoilers, it's hinted at. Well, not really. If you don't know what we're talking about, you don't know what we're talking about. They hint that like that's going to be a big part of her movie. Well, not her movie, the Doctor Strange movie and the Multiverse of Madness. Because we already know, we got the 2 magic users. They're going to team up in this movie. It just has to happen.
And like fucking Ironheart is getting a show. Hawkeye is going to have Kate Bishop. Fucking,
we're getting Nova sooner or later.
Trying to find some young
black kid of the Nova Force.
Miss Marvel, she's coming too.
Yeah, they're gonna find some young black kid to just be named They had Miles' uncle in fucking Spider-Man.
Granted, that was more of a reference for Gambino, Donald for Spider-Man and all that hoopla a couple years back.
but that was still his uncle.
Yeah, true.
That was the Prowler in fucking
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that movie was amazing. And yeah,
Freaking amazing.
I really want to see Michael Cera as Shaft. I think that would be cool.
Gonna bring that old bit up.
I'm just saying, I still think it would work.
And the crazy part is it's the same voice. The same voice is telling the joke now as it did on the special.
Hey, don't do that. He hates when people compare him to Donald Glover.
I really do. It really does.
Speaking of which, season 3 filming has started, and I could not be happier.
Yeah, Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Atlanta is just one of them shows that just it's new age television. That's like the new frontier. Man, that show is amazing.
I still need to finish it. I stopped on what's the episode where it's about where it's all about his girlfriend or something.
Oh, when she goes like, on that double date, that surprise double date with her friend, and like, yeah, I know that episode you're talking about. That's a great fucking episode.
Yeah, I stopped right before watching that because I'm like, I think I know where this is going, and I'm not ready for this right now. At the point where I was just like, I'm not in the mood to see this right now because this is gonna be like super depressing for me. That's
gonna open up a feels box that you're not ready to deal with.
Yeah, I wasn't ready. I'm probably when we get off, if we're not watching Cowboy Bebop after this, that's what I'm probably gonna go do. I'm just gonna watch that episode of Atlanta. I really do want to watch Cowboy Bebop right now.
I mean, Brandon agreed to doing. I think Garland was there. Brandon agreed to watch the movie with us. I mean, we could just watch the movie, but I'd rather. I'd rather if we do sit down and watch the episodes with Garland, if he's down for that, cool. And it's just, well, actually, we're supposed to play League after this, but if when we do the movie, yeah, that'd be a good night. I feel like we should do the movie after Garland finishes the series.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I need to get a new microphone. I need to get like a Shure or something like that, because this corduroy that I have fucking sucks. Paid $100 for nothing. Need to get preamp and shit. Oh god. Well, that was something.
It was something.
I have learned that me and Brandon are diametrically opposed to each other. I think in every facet of our lives.
I hate when you steal my terms.
We are though.
I called it.
If this was a show, we're clearly on opposite sides of like the Civil War here. It makes so much sense to me. But this is it's gonna be fun.
So, random question apropos of nothing. Civil War. What side would you guys side with?
I was with Iron Man. He killed that nigga mama.
Yeah.
He killed that nigga mama, bro.
Brandon are on the same side in this one. Yeah, you have to go with Cap. There's
Am I the only one on Iron Man side there?
Oh no, I'm with you.
Yeah, you are. What the fuck? Why are you trying to register these superheroes?
No, I'm with you with Iron Man.
Checks and balances.
They need checks and balances.
Checks and balances.
But using governments is where my problem lies. That's what me and Brandon used to argue because he asked me this 4 years ago. It's not so much that the government should check them. There should be an independent entity that understands the nature of what heroes do and what they try to accomplish, and they should be the ones to keep them in check. Not nationalistic systems. That's the only problem I have with Iron Man. He should have been the one pushing for an individualized system to keep track of them that isn't run by heroes and that isn't ran by governments, but is acknowledged by government bodies.
Okay, I can explain that.
If that was the argument that was actually being set forth between Cap and Iron Man, then everybody would then. A lot more people would be on Iron Man's side, but that's not how it went down, though.
The only reason
you're asking about registration through the United States government, or at the very least through the UN. And
but if we're breaking it down simplistically, but that's my eternal breakdown. So logically, the logical conclusion would be Iron Man, because look at the fallout from what's going on in Captain and Winter Soldier with what Cap has done to them as individuals.
Yeah. Like all of this was just for him to get his fucking boner off because he couldn't let his friend.
Mm-hmm.
I get that.
And let's be real. That's real noble, but come on, man. Your friend, dog. Look what he was doing, dog. I get right at that, but like, fuck, man. I'm pretty sure he didn't want to kill MLK. Like, dog. Do we know if Bucky killed Malcolm X? Can y'all confirm Bucky didn't kill?
You got a point.
Like, legit. Can you confirm that? No, he don't even know.
Or JFK.
or JFK or Bobby. Like we don't know. Like man,
Winter Soldier could have gave Whitney Houston crack. You don't know.
Was Winter Soldier distributing cocaine to the black community in the 80s? We don't know.
That Winter Soldier could be the main villain behind Snowfall, and we would never know.
The rest of this episode is brought to you by Chardonnay, by the way.
Nigga.
Yeah, I got New Amsterdam, Red Berry, and Bumble Rum.
Yeah, touching on the whole Civil War thing, this has just always been my thought. It's like, okay, they're like, Ultron destroyed all this shit, and you guys were unmanaged, so it's your fault. So let's say they are in control. So they're like, all right, we want to minimize global threat damage, so we're going to choose which heroes we send in at a time. So you got a big Skrull alien invasion show up, like, oh, man, we should get Thor. No, Thor destroys shit. All right, we'll send in Luke Cage. Luke Cage get fucked up. You're like, oh, man, damn, that didn't work. All right, send in the next guy. Send in Hawkeye. Hawkeye gets fucking murdered, and then they just slowly, like, ramp up to, like, who decides what's enough and what's not enough? Like, you can't necessarily, like, you don't know the outcome of this shit, except minimize it as much as you can. And I feel like the heroes, they try to do that shit regardless.
Mm-hmm. And that's the big thing in Civil War, because what set everybody else off was that operation in Africa, and when Black Widow couldn't contain the explosion, and it was a shit ton of collateral damage.
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, that's not her fault.
It wasn't her fault, but the optics.
But because they
There's so bad.
There's always a play. What are you talking about?
Okay, so she didn't do it, they would have all fucking died, and they would have had no Avengers.
Yeah,
I mean, if she didn't do it, they all would have died. But it's still the optics of the situation, though. It's not going to look good on the camera. It doesn't look good to the public. I really want to discuss Falcon and the Winter Soldier because man, episode 4 is exactly about this.
Is this conversation? I bet.
Yes. But
yes,
to me,
like big yes.
But to me, I chose Iron Man's side because that's the side I was on whenever they give you the hypothetical questions of individuals versus the masses.
What?
You got the great.
You have to expound on that point.
Yeah.
Because the entire Civil War is about him having a crush on Winter Soldier.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I see the point you're trying to make, but you got to be careful using terms like the greater good.
You can't.
You got to be careful using them kind of terms.
No, but my thing is, you can't say fuck everything and fuck everybody to save one person. I don't just say that as morality.
I mean, you could.
Save 1,000.
You definitely could.
Yeah.
Now, whether you should, that's another story.
But that's selfish.
I don't think so. I think hot take. I think there is definitely a situation where one man can be more important than 1,000 people.
I agree.
War Machine can't fucking walk right now.
Whose fault is that?
Who brought?
I should have designed that suit.
Sounds like Tony's fault.
Tony made that suit. Tony made Vision.
But they were only there because of Cap and Bucky.
No one told him to stop them.
What do you mean? I told him to stop them.
It's his fault.
It was a huge.
He agreed. He made the suit. He made Vision. He blew out his back.
But Cap was putting everything on the line for one person, and they couldn't let that happen.
Okay, he fucking innocent.
They could have just let Cap ride and do his thing. It's not like Cap was like all about like well, I'm gonna go like fuck up some monuments, stuff like that. I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm not adhering to this accord. And they could have just left it at that. Let Steve do his thing. Because at the end of the day, like I know we're just talking about fiction, but it's Steve fucking Rogers. If there's any person we have Jesus, let's be honest, Steve Rogers is fucking Jesus at this point. When is Steve Rogers quote unquote done wrong?
An MCU probably.
Yeah. All right. They could have just let that shit slide.
I mean, y'all remember the Hail Hydra line from the comics?
No.
Well, real talk though, I'm being a dick, but they retcon at the B he was trying to infiltrate Hydra. That's why he did that shit, but it's still a funny ass picture.
Yeah, I love the memes with those.
Yeah. Hail Hydra. They even they memed that into the movie. It was fucking great. In Endgame.
Hell yeah! That did happen.
Yeah, that did happen in Endgame.
My favorite thing was Hank Hill's face on it, and he was like, "Yeah, I love charcoal." That was just wrong.
But yeah,
What the fuck does it mean to be right wing?
Yep, and that's the podcast, guys. We've been the Self-Made Monsters. It's been great having you here. These kind of discussions.
We're gonna have our Chapel Trap House episode. I swear to God.
I have been. He's been Invincible. I've been the host with the most. Storm Blessed.
I've been Big Black Noir. We need to destroy the bourgeoisie, everybody. Eat the rich. We need to anally probe the middle class. And fucking
aren't you the middle class living in your ivory tower?
Shut the fuck up.
Anyway, and our last the man of the hour. Brandon, that's you.
Oh,
we talked about this, man.
Did we?
We did.
So the right wing is